If you're relying on just one way to make money in your business, you're playing a risky game. I know this because I learned this the hard way. I was offering just services, and what happens with services is that you end up only being able to work the amount of time you have available in a day. But this meant that my company was really reliant on that one revenue stream. And that was a real problem, especially at the early stages when it was just me. I was end up creating this habit of working too much. And if I wasn't working, I wasn't making money. So today we're going to talk about some revenue streams. Now, often you'll see these videos that say, hey, you should do this, this, and this. And we're going to talk about what is really involved in different revenue streams. I'm not going to paint this beautiful picture of, oh, it's really easy, because it's not. It's more work, absolutely. But we're going to talk about that. So stay tuned. Welcome to the Hobby to Profitability podcast. We're all about figuring out what it really takes to build a successful and thriving business. I'm Jacqueline Green, marketing nerd, AI consultant, and entrepreneur who's been through it all. My goal is to help you get the strategies, the tools, and the mindset shift you need to grow your business without the stress and confusion. Every week, we'll dive into real, unfiltered side of entrepreneurship, the mindset shifts, the strategic moves, and the unexpected lessons that come with building a business. We'll talk about what actually works and what doesn't, how to navigate those changes and challenges that you face, and how to create a business that really fits into your life. If you're ready to turn your passion into profit without the overwhelm, you're in the right place. So I understand when you are starting out or you're building a business, it might be you might have one employee, you're juggling a lot. There's a lot of unanswered questions, a lot of uncertainty within your business. And one of the fastest things that you have to do right off the bat is create a revenue stream for your business, and not just any revenue stream. You have to have it consistent. If you do not have a consistent revenue stream, then you're going to have cash flow issues. I promise you, I've been there. If you're not bringing in revenue, cash flow problems are going to apply. And then as you grow your business, that will continue to be a problem. But you can actually create multiple revenue streams. Now, I know a lot of books say, oh, focus on one thing, focus on one thing. And I'm not getting away from focus on what you do and what you offer, but how can you use what you do and maximize it for additional revenue streams? So we're going to talk about 3 different ways that you can do this. And then lastly, I'm going to give you a bonus revenue generation idea. Just because I had initially signed this up and said, okay, we're going to do 3. And then when I was reading through, okay, the 3 we're doing, well, this 4th one kind of relates to it, but I don't want to go back and change everything. So I'm just giving you a bonus. So that's how it works. So today, let's talk about these revenue streams. First of all, let's go back into why is it such a problem when you only have one revenue stream? Now, we are primarily a service-based company, and with service-based companies, we struggle with that number of hours that you have available to work is the basic revenue you're generating. So if you're charging an hourly, now we charge a little bit differently, but let's say you're charging an hourly rate, you have approximately 40 hours a week to work, but you're not going to be able to bill all the time. You have marketing, you have accounting, you have lots of other parts to the sales process, networking. You have so many other parts of your business that are not billable. They just aren't. So in a 40-hour work week, you're looking at, as a CEO, you should be able to bill about 20%. If you're a worker bee in your business, building a business, you're looking at about 30%. So, what does that look like? Or about 30 hours, not 20% or 30%, 30 hours. But you have to be really cognizant of those hours. Now, a lot of us starting out work a ton more than the 40 hours, but that's so we can get all the other things done as well. So when we look at this and look at those revenue streams, it can be a real challenge within a business, because if you're so reliant on that service or that service base for revenue, when you get too busy doing that service, then you spend less time doing the marketing or the sales. And so you have this roller coaster within your business, and that's a real challenge. And if all of your income is tied up into one offer, it also allows a heavier risk on your business. I'll give you a prime example. As an interior designer going into COVID, I actually assisted other interior designers with a lot of their drafting. That was the company I originally had started creating, was how can I support other designers? And one of it was drafting services. Well, guess what? I worked on the commercial side. And the day COVID struck, all of a sudden, nearly within 2 days, every single client that I had said, hold off. We got to put everything on hold, because the commercial space all of a sudden changed dramatically. Now, the residential, a lot of my clients went into residential work, and that's a totally different, product line for me. Even though you think, okay, well, I'm drafting for a house versus a commercial property, completely different structure, price structure. A commercial property, you can make a lot more money if you're doing drafting there versus a residential. They're smaller projects. You have to get more of them. But all of a sudden, my business, like so many other people and across different industries, stopped with no control over us. I have another friend who works for a company, and they do hiring for one huge healthcare company, just one. And every time we talk about it, it almost like it stresses me out a little. I'm like, you work for a multi-million-dollar business that serves one big corporation. Now, granted, it is a big corporation, but that's really scary. That corporation goes down, it loses, it gets rid of people. These things happen, and it's part of life. And if you only have that one revenue stream on that bigger scale, it can take down a nice multi-million-dollar business with it. And so we have to take that into consideration when we're building a business that is going to be scalable, that we want growth beyond ourselves. We want it beyond just the service side. So what do those streams look like? And what could you implement today that are fairly, I don't want to say the word easy, but doable? We're going to do doable. Because I love when people get on, I listen to a lot of videos and podcasts, like, oh, it's really easy. And then you get into it and it's like, no, it's not hard, but it's time consuming. So let's talk about this. The first one is digital products. This has passive income potential. This is, you create something one time and you're basically selling that original asset over and over and over. This could be something like an ebook. It could be a templates to do things. It could be courses. It could be guides. A perfect example of templates. My son is getting married, and I wanted to buy for Christmas my beautiful future daughter-in-law a wedding planner. And I started looking at them. There are a million different templates and options on Etsy. There are tons of them out there. I couldn't pick one because that's something kind of personal, that she might want this template, she might want that template. But here are wedding planners who are creating their templates that they're probably using themselves, making them pretty, and then turning around and selling them as a digital product. So you're creating something one time, and then you have unlimited sale opportunity, and you can do it through services like Etsy. Now, you're not going to make a ton of money off of one sale. The idea is that you get multiple sales. You're also going to be serving a different customer. So this isn't necessarily the customer who's going to buy your product or your service. So using the wedding example, if you're a wedding planner and you create these templates and you sell the templates, chances are the person, the bride that's purchasing those, probably either is not going to be your ideal client for one of two reasons. One, they're geographically not in your area. So it opens up a new market for you from a geographic standpoint. And number two, they may be also on a lower budget than what you might accept as a wedding planner. And that is the case in a lot of situations. Unfortunately, not everybody can afford your products. Courses is another great example. We offer courses at Behind the Design. Why do we do this? Because I understand that not everybody can afford to pay for our services and have us do it for them. There are going to be certain people that I still want to be able to help, but aren't quite ready to purchase our services. But if I can provide courses to help them, then that is a win-win for everybody. So it positions us as an expert while generating passive income. Now, how do you actually implement this? Choose something that is small and high value product that you can quickly turn around and sell. I have this amazing planner that I have adapted for years and years. I have not sold it. I'm going to be honest. I'm afraid to sell it. But I couldn't find a planner that I really wanted, and so I created this planner for me. And it has all my entire daily routine, my morning routine, what I have to get done, my top threes, what my goals are, what I'm grateful for, all on, basically this binder. And so I really do need to sell it, but I could take that and easily turn that into a digital product. Look at what you have, existing content that you might have that you might be able to either, beef up, repurpose, templates, checklists, anything like that. It has to be something of value though. And then you sell them on different platforms. We use Kajabi for our website. It's great for courses. There's other ones. You could do Etsy for digital product downloads, and there's a lot of different products. Is this an easy? No, it's going to take some time to set up, but once you set it up, it is pretty easy after that, in the sense that unless you're wanting to update it, which, of course you're going to want to update it, I would recommend updating at least once a year. So the time to do this is early on, and there's a lot of hours that are going to be early in the process versus once you get it going, it's kind of evergreen in that way. Let's be real. Random marketing tactics aren't going to grow your business. It's like throwing spaghetti at a wall, hoping the spaghetti will stick. If you're tired of spinning your wheels, or in this case, throwing spaghetti, then it's time to take a smarter approach. The Marketing Momentum Workshop is built for small business owners just like you, who need real results, not just more marketing noise. In one 4-hour session, we will work with you to pinpoint the best strategies and create a roadmap for your business that's going to help it grow. Take the first step. Book your free marketing health check now at behindthedesignco.com, and let's get your business moving in the right direction. So the second one, revenue stream number 2 would be licensing. Now you probably thought I was going to say affiliate, but we'll get to affiliate later. So what is licensing? Now this is perfect for certain creative fields. So licensing is where you license your intellectual property. This could be courses, templates, and content. My stepbrother actually created English speaking courses and has sold those courses to people in other countries to be able to learn English. So they take his course and his content, and they then utilize that and be able to teach classes there in that country. That's a really great opportunity to take what you know really well and turn it around. Now, why does this work? Well, one, you get paid up front, or you can earn royalties. So the idea is essentially that you can take the existing content that you already have or something you already know and turn it into something you can sell to someone else, and that you'll either get paid up front or as a part of a royalty. And it also allows you to reach a larger audience that you couldn't reach otherwise. Now, another example is this interior designer, and I've known several designers who do this, and that's either training and offering a course where they've started offering courses around design, or another idea is where they take some of their design, where you can now design wallpapers, you can design fabrics, you can design rugs. There's all kinds of products. Fashion is the same way, where you can actually license that visual, that creative out and someone can print that on their products and sell that under either as your brand or under their own brand. So there are a lot of different opportunities for licensing. It's not just thinking like movie licensing. There are quite a bit of opportunities. So what are the action items on this one? One, you want to look at what your existing assets are. What can you teach? What can you share that someone else might want to use? What does that look like? What is something that you have that you know that you create for yourself, that you created it for yourself because you were struggling to find it? Think in those terms. Now, next, reach out to schools, associations, membership groups who could use your content. In the courses, we talked about that in both of these. In courses, we're seeing a lot of companies come on the market that don't necessarily have their own course content, or they have a little bit, but not a lot. And they will license your course content if your course is different and it's on their platform. So they end up marketing it and you just get royalties off of that as they sell. That's great because you don't have to actually manage all the user information. Be sure you use a licensing agreement when you're selling your courses, your training, your materials, all those things. In this one, you are going to have legal representation if you are licensing anything. So be sure to consult a lawyer because it's your intellectual property. You own that. And so you want to be really careful that you're not giving it away, that you're being paid accordingly and it's within the standards and you're not going to essentially get screwed. Sorry being so blunt, but that's the truth of it. All right, the next revenue stream we're going to talk about is memberships and subscription models. Now, we've heard a lot about subscriptions and memberships. It's actually become such a crazy thing. If you think about Netflix, Hulu, Disney, every channel now has some subscription base. It's essentially the same content idea. Is you create content and reoccurring revenue model by sharing that to customers. So this is something where I give away this for free on my blog, but I'm going to give you all the really good, juicy stuff if you join my membership. Now, memberships can be completely what you want of it, how much content you're going to share. If you have a lot of knowledge and you want to share that on a regular basis, but don't necessarily want to create a course, or you want to create a community and course along with your course, then memberships and subscriptions are really great. You can do this where they pay a fee upfront or a regular reoccurring monthly. So it does provide predictable and reoccurring income. You can build a loyal community as long as you're giving just outrageously good content and expertise. And it's an affordable way for your customers to be able to engage with your brand. This is perfect for service spaces as well if you have a service. Now, I've even heard of situations where construction companies, more like trades like plumbing, electricians, HVAC, where you can buy into memberships for them and you get certain things. So as a member of this HVAC community, we come out and service your unit twice a year. You get a discount on the hourly. If there's an emergency call, you get X, Y, and Z. So it doesn't necessarily have to be content that you're putting out there. It can be, some sort of discount. And you can control what you're making annually because those subscriptions or memberships are dependable. If they're paying an annual fee to be part of your membership, then they're going to be part of that. So it actually has a lot of benefit. A business coach could also offer $49 monthly memberships with live Q&A, templates, private community, all those things. My husband's a part of a real estate community for real estate investors. It was definitely not cheap to get in. It was an upfront cost, but it has definitely paid for itself over and over and over. It's an amazing community. So there are ways to do this. Now, this one does require a little bit more work. Now, in the sense of the trade or company, like an HVAC system, that type of membership, or car washes, you belong as a member, and then you can run through the car wash as much as you want. Those are a little bit easier. That's just part of marketing and promotion. But if you're truly giving content and giving additional expertise, you have to be incredibly active within the community. You have to respond to people. You have to be constantly creating content. This one takes a lot more. So there are sites out there. I mentioned Kajabi. Kajabi has a community part of their business and of their website. It comes with every website. There are a couple other ones as well, but I'm not familiar with them as well. But the idea here is you need to make sure you're keeping the value there to focus on that retention. You have to have members engaging, being active. If they're not active, they're going to drop that subscription. Now, here's the bonus, is the revenue stream is going to be affiliate. Now, the reason I wanted to cover affiliate is for twofold. One, I wanted to explain a little bit about affiliate, that it does take work. If you truly have a good affiliate relationship and want to make a good sizable amount of money through affiliates, it takes work. So if you're listening to somebody and they're going, oh no, you just sign up here and it's easy. No, you're essentially becoming their marketing person. And so it's important to understand that going in. So an affiliate is where you're earning commission by recommending products or services that you already use and trust. A lot of people, especially in the influencer arena, will say, oh yeah, I use these products, and they don't. Now, I can tell you 100% if I recommend a product to you, I use that product. I use Kajabi. I have an affiliate relationship with them. I also use High Level for our CRM. I have an affiliate relationship with them. But if you want to really make money with affiliates, you have to market the crap out of it. You have to show how you're using it. You have to give tips. You have to build videos. You have to promote it on your social. If you really want to make money at it and you want it as a viable, there is a lot of work to be done. Just putting a link on your website is not going to really generate a stable revenue. So that's really important to understand. Now, part of it is my ethics. I don't want to promote a product. I'll offer and tell you products out there, but I'm not going to tell you I use this or I recommend it if I don't. I just have this thing. I don't want somebody else. I would hate to recommend something and they go, oh, this was horrible. So those are two products I do have affiliate relationships with because I believe in them and I use them. So what are the action items here? So you got to look at what are the tools that you use or services that you use that you already have a relationship with, that you really can talk about and like, and that your audience would also find beneficial. I like High Level. I'll tell you exactly why, because it has a low cost of entry and I can create a CRM. It does a lot of things, first of all, but it's an all-in-one solution. It is a fraction of the cost of its competitors. And to me, as a small business, when you're watching every dime, if it meets most of your needs, then I'd rather pay a little bit less at this stage of my business. Not saying those other more expensive products aren't better or don't offer more. Just at this point in this time in my business, I don't need all the bells and whistles. The CRM that they offer in High Level is perfect. Now, they also offer website. They also offer social scheduling, which we use a lot of. They offer invoicing. So there are a lot of things that it's an all-in-one solution that we can use, but we don't necessarily use all those. We have our website on Kajabi, and we like it there. Make a list of the tools or services you really like that you already use that you can build that affiliate with. Not everybody offers affiliate relationships. Be intentional, though. Only recommend the products that align with your business and your audience, and then create your content around those recommendations. But don't shove it out there. At the end of the day, you still need to promote your own business. So you need to have a balance between how much you are promoting your own service versus how much you're going to promote somebody else's. And I think that's a balanced line that can be kind of hard sometimes. Now, for people who that's all they want to do is affiliate, great, they have plenty of time to do that. But these are revenue streams that you could add on to what you're already doing that are fairly easy without having to develop a whole nother product line or a whole nother service or hire a whole nother team. So what do we talk about? We talked about 3 different revenue generating ideas and why it's so important to consider different revenue streams. We talked about digital products, we talked about licensing, and then memberships or subscriptions. Then we threw the bonus in there about affiliate. You don't want to start with all of these at one time. That's why I talked earlier about my calendar. I haven't put it out there and used that as a digital product to sell because we have so much other things going on that I'm really excited about, that I really want to get going on, or have been getting going on, that it doesn't make sense for me to distract myself on this product that isn't going to generate like the products I'm using. So as the CEO of your business, you have to look at things strategically and decide, is this going to bring enough revenue in for me to spend some of my time working or getting set up or someone on my team? Or is it, okay, maybe we can do that down the road when we have a little bit more available time? Now, if you really found this helpful, please, I beg of you, please subscribe. We are just getting launched and we're really excited to be doing the podcast, but share this with other entrepreneurs who might find this valuable, and be sure to subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. Okay, next time I am going to be talking about in the next episode, understanding new marketing world with AI. AI is changing a lot, but one of the biggest industries it's changing and has been changing, whether you know it or not, is marketing. And so I'm going to give you kind of a little outline. And being someone who's been in marketing pretty much my entire career, one way or the other, it's incredibly interesting, fun, exciting, scary, all those things. And so we're going to talk about that. I will see you next time. Thank you for listening to the Hobby to Profitability podcast with Jacqueline Green. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, or share it with a friend. You can learn more about Behind the Design at our website at behindthedesignco.com, and be sure to connect with me on LinkedIn or subscribe to the Behind the Design channel on YouTube for more great business growth strategies. Now, I'll see you next time.